Hello Internet, Hiboson here. As you can see, this week I am not in the workshop or in my room at the moment. I am actually in the kitchen. So if it's a little echoey, apologies on that. And sorry for the light level in here. You'll understand why light level is an issue in a moment. So I've been quite busy, and as you're aware, I haven't had a chance to get to a lot of the 3D printing stuff because I've had a lot of things to do in and around the home, plus some things I've got to start helping with for pantomime that's going on coming up in the December and what have you. So my time has been quite limited, but one of the little projects I thought I'd quickly show you that I've been doing in the house here is the underlighting in the kitchen cupboards. Here we can see we've got a kitchen one there, and then over here as well, and there. Now at the moment we have got a switch here that does put these little lights on there and those ones there. Oh, I have my finger in the lens, sorry about that. So yeah, we've got those lights there, these lights over there. There's 3 over there, 2 over there, but there should be 3. One's dead over there at the moment, and there should be 3 up here, but 2 are dead up there at the moment. Now the problem we've been having is these 3 over here, after a short amount of time they will just switch off. What's happening is they are overheating on the controller at the top of the cupboards, and they just kind of power down and switch off. I'm going to try and keep them in the background here just to see if it happens whilst I'm talking to you. So I knew that they needed replaced. Now I could just replace the power transformer thing that's up the top and a few of the bulbs, but these are those tiny little halogen ones, and they've been a pain in the butt since the day we've had them in here, but they've been in here like 8 years or so now, so they've been in here quite a while. And so it's time for them to, but there we go. So now you can see they've decided to take themselves out of the equation, and then probably in a few more minutes they'll come back on, they'll go off, go on, off. Up on top of the cupboards up there is little transformers that go down, and whilst it's still off, these are little lights under there, and yeah, they've seen better days. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you there might have just suddenly spotted what I'm up to. Basically, I'm going to be putting those like weather strip LED strips all the way around underneath. Now, what I did when I first did this is I thought, okay, first things first, I cleaned underneath all of these with isopropyl alcohol, IPA, because with things like the George Foreman and stuff like that there, underneath here can get a bit greasy, or like over here we've got the kettle, some of there sometimes got a little steamy and etc. So I knew I needed to clean under there. But once I cleaned under there, I stuck them all up, I soldered all them together, I cut the strips to length. I'll show you them all in a bit, some of the stuff I've got. But I cut them to length, stuck them under there, soldered the bits together beforehand. Of course it was easy to solder them, then stick them up there. And then I left them. I didn't actually wire them in up to power supplies and everything. I wanted to see how they would cope, because I wasn't sure if they would stay stuck. Because some people in the reviews for these strips on Amazon were like, yeah, they don't stick very well. Now I know a lot of time people don't prep surfaces very well for putting adhesive strips and things on, so that's why I made sure I prepped the surface, but still had the problem. So what I did was I stuck them up and I thought I'd give them a week, see how they go. Unfortunately, especially this one here, I probably me not cleaning it well enough. The one under here that gets a lot of the fat and the grease, as you can see here, the strips just fell down, and that one even broke off to the point I have this here. So yeah, you can see that it didn't quite go to plan. I had kind of on plan B. I still like the idea of the LED strips, but I knew they just weren't going to hold themselves up there. So what I've ended up doing is I needed a new one, so it gave me an excuse. I bought a staple gun, a nice electric one and everything. I'll show you that in a sec. And I decided, right, let's staple these on. Now the only problem I did have, not pre-checking well enough, the width of the staples was just enough in some cases to go either side of the strip, but in some cases, because of where I put the strip and it was still stuck up, so I wanted to leave it stuck, I couldn't get the gun in the right place. So what's happened there is, let's have a little look at the one I have. Oh, close up. Ha! So you can see them under there. My apologies if this isn't the clearest piece of video. This thing doesn't like to focus that close and the light level's a bit weird under here. So I've stapled them up. Now in a couple of cases I literally just had to, like over here, as you can see here, I actually kind of stapled through it. But I try to make sure I went through a place where the tracks weren't running, or if it was, it wouldn't matter. So there you go. So you can see that was just a little like workaround that I've done. And if you want to see these up and running, so here's like this bit here. Let me just, that's currently those lighting. And at the moment I've got these wired in on a temporary switch. That's with them on. Now let's just turn that off. Now, they look very blue here. They're not actually blue. They're actually what's called warm white, because this thing's adjusting at the moment. So if I zoom around there now, you can see how it looks, but it's now just, the camera is unfortunately trying to be all automatic on us and try and correct some things. But they are like a warm white. Let me quickly show you through some of the parts that I've got to do this build. Okay, I've adjusted the white balance on the camera now, and now you've got a better idea of the actual kind of feeling and colour of that and how it looks. And I think that looks really quite nice now. Now here you can see some of the other bits I've got. This is the nail gun that I have. It's an electric one, so I got that one. That's nice there. Now the lights came on these reels we have here, and then I have one whole fresh reel still to go. One whole reel here, see, still to go. Although I don't need it, but I thought they might be handy for lighting up 3D printer. Some connectors here. Here's one of the connectors out of the bag. As you can see, it's got a nice normal little connector plug in there, and then in here is a little place you can clamp it into one of these once you strip the rubbery bit off. And this is the power brick that I am using here. So you can see this little connector here just plugged into that. But what I'm actually doing is stripping this end off here and soldering direct, because I have the cable going from the end of there, that red cable, disappearing up behind the cabinet. So there we go. That was one of the things I've been up to. Not a big project, but it's one of the little kind of little techie projects or things I'm currently doing. If it's something that people are interested in seeing more things like this, more DIY stuff and what have you, I might kind of chronicle some of the other things I've got going on that side of front. Also, I've got things like I'm going to have to do some set building for the pantomime coming up, stuff like that. So who knows what I might throw at you in the future? Who knows? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you know, hit the old like button, hit subscribe if this is new to you. This is a weird one to start with. Go back, check my back catalogue. Catch me up on Twitter at Hiboson, and see you again next week.